Suddenly. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's been a long time. We took a hiatus since just before the Super Bowl, and we're back from the cheap seats. And I'm back with my pal Billy Smith, as we are every year. And but we're gonna try and discuss a few more things other than football. Today, we'll just generally go into some of the top stories in sports, and we'll go from there. Um, hey, Bill, how's it going? Before I tell everybody that we have sponsors and who they are.
Hey Johnny, I'm doing well, my friend. Busy, but
Awesome.
but it's better than the other way, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I spent some time the other way this year, and it wasn't good.
Yeah.
The only good thing that came out of it is hopefully my face and the rest of me is taking up less space on the thing. But I don't recommend it as a weight loss thing. I don't. No, I don't. And you've been there, so yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Basically, I don't want to do that anymore. So. But we're getting up and getting around, and going to go ahead and get back on the old Public John media train. This will be the first thing. There's a tirades episode going to come out, and then two shows. One's not new. One is the classic Public John podcast. We're going to go back and start to do that. We may be doing that live. We'll see. And had to go through not hoops or anything, just got permission from Quinn Broadcasting to use the old It's Showtime with John Harris uh, logo and music and all. So we may do that. That'll be more of an interview show. Um, so those things are coming as soon as I can get them production wise up and running. So
Cool.
we're going to start today with From the Cheap Seats, where Billy and I have spent quite a bit of time over the years. And now, yeah, the cheapest seat you can find is at your house. So
And the recliner.
that's it. Hit the recliner. I got a power recliner, dude. Okay, so I'm like,
Me too.
it's beautiful. I got to get my fat ass up. Perfect. I'm like, the only thing it doesn't do is, well, that and bring my food. So, other than that, it's great. I think it's the greatest invention since Trojans. Okay. All right, bud. Let's talk about our sponsors. We have, first off, Violin Realty Corporation. My pal Dennis and Graldi has sponsored everything from Public John ever since our inception. Uh, and we thank him very much. Vineland Realty Corporation is at 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey. Their number is 856-690-9482 for all your residential and property needs in Vineland, in South Jersey. Get a hold of Dennis and his crew. Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue. You can still just pop on in there. That's in Vineland, New Jersey. Whether it's business, residential, uh, you want to buy a house, you want to rent a house, you want to lease an apartment, you want to do whatever, get a hold of Dennis and the crew. Vineland Realty Corporation, 856-690-9482, and tell them that we sent you from the cheap seats here at Public John Media. And we have a new sponsor, but no less important. I guess when you talk sponsorships, they pay the same. So you say they're no less important. But some friends of mine out here in Kansas have a great place in Riley, Kansas, which is in northeast Kansas, probably about, if you're familiar with the Kansas area at all, maybe about 10 minutes outside of Manhattan. If you're not familiar with Kansas, you don't give a rat's ass. But you ever come out to see me or see somebody, let me know, because one of the places I want to take you is Schatzi Schnitzel House, which is hard to say without
That's a tongue twister there,
if
baby.
you're if you're drunk, you're in trouble. Uh, but and you could get drunk there, so that's great. They've got all great German beers and a couple of wines, I believe, at Schatzi Schnitzel House. Uh, Private German events and catering. That's on Broadway in Riley, Kansas. Chef Manfred Lagrange Ulrich is just a fabulous chef. Um, with the schnitzel, Bill, is, and I don't mean strudel, with I love, but he has made strudel. But authentic German catering, he opens up the catering room once a month, as a restaurant, opens it up buffet style, and it's great. Um, Also, they do a thing on the Abilene, Kansas train, which is a basically a sightseeing train, or sometimes they put a show on too. He'll cater that event and is open for catering other events. And one time he was asked to make Italian for a graduation celebration, and he did that. And I got to work it karaoke there. They asked for that, and dinner was great. So I mean, he's not just relegated to German food, but his specialty is German cuisine. That's Schatzi Schnitzel House. Their phone number, 785-473-3355. Uh, and you can follow them on Facebook as well. Schatzi's Schnitzel House. It's Haus, German word for house. And it's in Riley, on Broadway in Riley, Kansas. So I guess you could say I've played Broadway twice in my life.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Broadway and Broadway. It's been great. So go see my friend Chef Manford and Shotzi. His Shotzi is there at Shotzi Schnitzel House in Riley, Kansas. We thank you, Chef, and Shotzi. There is a Shotzi, and we thank them for sponsoring us here on the Public John and all our Public John events. So, all that being said, if I want a place to live and food to eat, I'm good for life.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, might have to commute a little bit to do both, but it'd be a hell of a commute. But if I want to do the same thing within a couple days, but it is what it is. Uh, Bill, we've got a couple stories. We'll start with the NFL, and we're going to be just in general. Uh, Next week, we should be able to go on and be a little more specific with our NFL picks for the upcoming season. We are going to start talking about some other sports related news as well. Uh, but let's start with baseball, Bill. Just your thoughts on it. I'm happy. The reason I'm wearing the Red Sox hat, of course, today is the Red Sox took their third straight game from the Yankees in the Bronx.
Yes.
Believe that. It's a 4-game series. They wrap up the series tomorrow. They've gained 3 games in the standings. Uh, I believe they're only 3 out from the division now. I know they are the number 1 team, I believe, at the moment in the wild card when they weren't even in it. That's how close the American League is. Uh, Toronto leads the division, which is a bit of a surprise. I think people thought they might be a wild card, but they're actually leading the
Hmm.
Eastern
Yeah.
Division.
Yeah. And Boston's at 1.5 games over the Yankees for the wild
For
card.
yeah, the Yankees are
First wild card.
for
Yeah.
the wild card, right? Yeah, they
Yep.
caught them and passed them. So uh today it was 12-1. They had a 7-run outburst in the ninth, the Red Sox did. 12-1, just smacked them around. And their best pitcher was going, who's Crochet for the Red Sox. So of course the Red Sox, they go overboard. They're talking sweep already, and I hope it is, but you know, I I'm being very optimistic but cautious. Uh, but the Yankees are throwing the ball around like little leaguers. I mean, even in the infield, they're throwing it over the first baseman's head, and it's not even close. I mean, some of these throws and mental mistakes, uh,
Hmm.
like crazy.
That's
Yankees,
what happens when you concentrate on just hitting the ball. I mean, you got to have defense too. You can't just be all about home
yeah,
runs. So.
yeah, you got to. Chisholm makes horrible plays. Volpe, their shortstop, threw a ball into the cheap seats the other day, and did again today. It was just, and of course, you can't keep making errors and think you're going to outslug people.
Mhm.
I mean, Judge, the 1 run I believe was a Stanton solo homer that when they showed it, they said it would only clear one ballpark. It was only one row in, and the one ballpark was right field in Yankee Stadium. So most places it's just a fly ball. So they wouldn't have even had that.
Mhm.
Um, but Crochet pitched 7 great innings, and then the bullpen came in and did its thing, and that was it. Uh, so I'm bullish on the Red Sox. Uh, Looking around baseball, Toronto's played pretty well this season. Uh, in the American League, the Central
Yeah,
is
the Tigers.
yeah, the Tigers are just what 9 games up, I think, over the Twins. They're just blowing that division
Actually,
away.
10.5 over the Royals. Royals
Oh,
actually
10 and a
got,
half over the Royals. That's right.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, then if you look at the American League West, Seattle and Houston are in a dogfight.
Yeah, the Mariners are 2 games behind them right now.
Yeah, and that's thanks to the Eastern National League Eastern Division Phillies, who just swept them 3 in a row, swept the Mariners,
Hmm.
which is a bit of a surprise because the Phillies lost games against Baltimore and I'm thinking somebody else too that they just didn't play well.
Washington, they lost
Oh
to.
yeah, and they lost last night to Washington. So uh, I do have it on here in the background. This update in the top of the fourth in Philadelphia. There's still no score. Aaron Nola's on the mound, and there's one out in the top of the fourth. Um, so the Phillies are, to me, they are hit or miss, and literally
Yeah,
hit or
and
miss.
they're up 6 games on the Mets, so
Yeah,
that's pretty
they're up six
comfortable.
games, which tells you how bad the Mets have been
Yes.
because they were up over 3 games, I think, at one point just a month ago. So
Hmm.
the Phillies got a little hot. The Mets definitely got cold, and wouldn't surprise me if Steve Cohen cleans house, especially if they don't make the playoffs.
Hmm.
Because opposite of your guys in Baltimore, he spends money
Hmm.
and he's went out and bought guys. I mean, Soto, Lindor. He upgraded Alonso's contract. I mean, all those things have to be okayed by him. And he's like, yeah, but same thing. Similar to the Yankees, they went out and bought bats, and pitching's just not very good. And I think Soto's been a disappointment in his first year in New York with the Mets as well. So uh, see what happens. Trying to think. I don't think
Yeah.
there's anybody else in the East worth taking a look
No,
at.
and then the Central, you have the Cubs as good as they're playing.
I know,
Still,
but Milwaukee.
but Milwaukee's got the best record in baseball.
Oh, Milwaukee's the hottest thing since the cavemen invented fire. Really, they are smoking, and they're doing it every way you can. They're coming from behind. Like I think last night they won in the bottom of the ninth in a walk off. They're coming from behind and doing it. They're thumping people. Their pitching's good. They may be the team to watch in the National League as far as going to the World Series. Um, because, like you said, they're leading the Cubs by what, nine?
Seven
Probably down to
games.
seven.
Yeah,
Well,
Brewers are 81 and 48. That's pretty darn
that's
good.
pretty impressive. That's impressive as heck. Then you look out west, and San Diego and the Dodgers are in a dogfight.
Yeah, they're all tied up.
Yeah, they're
74.
they're dead even. Uh, and the one that loses the division, I don't think is going to make the wild card. I could be wrong about that, but it's close. Um, they
Uh,
might, they might if they're within a game or so. I did look at it, and the more I think
well,
about,
yeah, one's it'll be right now is the Cubs is the number one wild card, Padres two, and the Mets three, and that's
yeah,
what the top. Yeah, so I mean, they'll both should make the playoffs.
so they both will get in. Yeah. So, uh, Dodger pitching hasn't been as good as they'd hoped, and San Diego's hitting is better than everybody thought. So, and their pitching's been decent. Dodgers pitching, they've got injuries like crazy. I mean, Mookie Betts was hurt most of the season. He's still not up to par. Well, was really sick. Um,
Mhm.
and and you could tell looking at him that he's nowhere near as big as he used to be. Uh, he had a stomach thing that was really bad, and now I think he's just starting to come around, but he's still not the Mookie Betts we're all used to. So,
Mhm.
uh, and I think he was playing shortstop this year to try and get
Yeah,
themselves another outfielder they thought was going to do well and isn't doing as well as they thought. So the Dodgers and the Padres are in a dogfight. Like you said, both will make the postseason. Uh, but as of now, getting a first round bye looks like Milwaukee and Philly.
yeah,
So we'll see because the top two division winners get a bye for the first series. So
Hmm.
in the American League, who knows? Uh, could be uh, who is it? Detroit, right? Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit's got 77 wins, the Blue Jays 75 wins, and the Astros 71. So yeah, it looks like Detroit right now.
Detroit
Detroit
and
will
yeah,
get the bye.
Toronto. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens because it looks like outside of one, maybe two, well, one team, two, both in the American League, it looks like parity. So at that point, I think once they get in, any of them is on a hot streak, they could go all the way. And I think it might be Milwaukee. Don't get me wrong. I'm still, I admit that I'm a Red Sox fan. I admit I'm a Phillies fan. Uh, both to me have shown inconsistency at the plate. I mean, the Red Sox won yesterday 1-0. That just means the Yankees are worse than the Red Sox. I mean, and the Yankees only scored one run today. So, like you said, you can't put all your basket on offense with hitting.
Yeah.
That seems to be how the Yankees have gone. And when the bats are quiet, that's it. I mean, it's how the Phillies lost their last World Series deal. Were up 2-0. Houston shut them down
Mhm.
next four games in a row. So, um, perfect example of putting all your eggs in the offensive basket. That being said, Kyle Schwarber for Philly and the big dumper in Seattle,
Whew.
Cal Raleigh, are
Yeah.
having massive home run seasons,
Mm.
and some of them in the clutch by both of them. I mean,
Hmm.
those guys are just tearing it up. Bryce Harper's having a good year, and he's not even in the conversation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and that's just one example. Raleigh is just tearing up. Though Philly kept him, I don't know if there's a secret or what, but
Mm.
he was on a tear, and then Philly shut him down for 3 games.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had anything. Might have had a hit in one of the games.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you when you don't play a team often enough. So I mean,
Yeah, that's true too. Or they may have seen something in film
mm.
or something, and you know, and I don't know for sure, but it could be he can't hit the high fastball, he can't hit the low breaking ball, whatever, and that's all they threw him. So, you know, but he'll make adjustments. I mean, he's
Yeah.
proven it. So sit
Mm.
back and see. It wouldn't surprise me though in the end if it's Milwaukee for the National League. The American League, if I had to make a pick, I would probably, I despise them, but I would probably think it'll be between Houston and Detroit. Um, in that case, I'd be
And
rooting.
hopefully it's Detroit. We always say we like seeing newer teams in there that
Yeah,
have been there a
yeah.
while.
And Detroit hasn't been in there in a while. So
Mm.
AJ
But
Hitt doing it. He's showing that he is a really good manager.
yeah. Yep.
Get the cheating stuff and all that. That he is a good baseball manager, and he's done a great job with that team. Some of
Mm.
those guys are cast offs. I mean, you look at Matt Vreeling, who's basically a starter, at least against lefties, I think, for Detroit, who's basically cast off by the Phillies in a trade.
Mm.
So now he's playing every day and or almost every day and having a pretty good season. So it's just an example of sometimes what management can do, a little coaching, or somebody that will plug a hole when they do well. So I think you're right. Detroit and Houston probably will be one of the two teams that come out of the American League, and it might be Detroit
Mm.
because they seem to have a little bit of everything. And as much as I'll be rooting for Boston to get through, and as much as I'll be rooting for Philly, if it's money on the line, I'm probably going to go Milwaukee, Detroit.
Yeah. Yeah, because as you say, a Philly fan and everything, but that's devastating news with Wheeler being out for the year.
Oh,
I mean, that's
that goes beyond baseball. When you're talking a blood clot, supposedly he's already had quote unquote successful surgery.
mm.
I mean, Philly is saying all the right things because it is his health and his family first. Uh, but there are people who are going, so when's he going to be able to pitch again? Screw that.
Yeah.
I mean, let the guy recover and let him make his own decision. He may say, "I don't want to put my arm through that stress anymore,"
Yeah.
because it is his pitching shoulder. It was in
Hmm.
the pitching area. So, who knows what causes a blood clot, so technically, if he doesn't want to pitch anymore, he can't pitch anymore. So leave the guy alone
Yeah.
and let him recover at his own pace. And you thank goodness he caught it, because he actually was the one that said there is something wrong. I mean, they had MRI. That tells you something. That's weird that he went through uh, CAT scans, MRIs, didn't show anything.
Hmm.
And then he said, after a couple of starts that were kind of subpar for him, he said, I don't really feel well. My arm isn't right. Something's wrong with it. Pressed him, and then they finally found the blood clot, I think, in another MRI. And of course, you saw how fast he got in there and that they did surgery.
Hmm.
So, I mean, a blood clot's nothing you can take like a knee and say, all right, we can wait a couple weeks.
Yeah, and they're saying like at the minimum 6 to 8 months. So I mean,
Yeah, so he's gone for this year. And, 6 months, might get him ready for the start of the season if he wants to do it. So,
right.
uh,
If
so,
not, I'm sure he's got plenty of money. Hopefully, he was wise with his money and
oh yeah, oh
just
yeah.
right off
I
the
don't
seat.
think it's financial. I think it's more
Yeah,
of his health, you know,
yeah,
and that's what's the important thing. And even the Phillies are front office are going, we're not worried about when he can come back. We're worried about his health and his family, which is the right thing to say.
right, sure,
And they're not going to say anything else because PR would be bad. But you generally think that because most teams do become like families, and uh, so you're right. The Zach Wheeler thing is devastating to Philly, though, from the team and baseball standpoint. I mean, Christopher Sanchez is on fire, but you don't have anybody that can replace Zach Wheeler.
no,
Suarez to me I like him, but he's been a little underperforming this year for whatever reason. Not like the Sanchez from 2 years ago, or not Sanchez, Suarez from 2 years ago. So uh, we'll see what happens. They keep experimenting with the outfield with Bader, who's he's okay. Kepler, I think, has been a disappointment, but he's only on a 1 year deal, so I think after the season he'll probably go. He's already whined about not playing enough and stuff.
Mhm.
Um, might be time to bring up JP. I can't remember if it's JP, but it's Crawford. JP, I think, is the Seattle shortstop. So, who ironically was a former Philly and was traded to Seattle. So, but there's a Crawford in the minor league system that's tearing things up and has been for a couple of years. It wouldn't surprise me if September call ups he's up so they get a look at him or something. But next year he could be in that outfield mix. So, all right. Bad end to baseball. I'm saying Milwaukee or Detroit in the American League. Probably or Milwaukee, I'm sorry, in the National League, Detroit or Houston in the American League. And I don't know if Bill disagrees with that at all or not.
No, I'd probably go with that. It wouldn't surprise me if one of the guys I work with is a Padre fan. So imagine that, but they're
Yeah.
tough. They might
Wow.
be tough. Yeah.
Uh,
So,
well, I would semi root for the Padres because they've only been to the series once and lost it. If it wasn't for your former
uh,
guy,
yeah, Machado. Yeah,
I just can't. I can't say I hate him because I've never met him,
right.
but
You can't stand
but
them.
I really can't stand watching that guy. I really can't. His ego's out of control. Nothing seems to be his fault, and he hasn't performed in San Diego like he did in Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you know, I just can't watch them, and it's a shame because but he and most fans feel the same way. If you ever listen or watch one of the games, you'll hear the crowds boo the heck out of this guy. I mean, he's just a terrible guy, I think, at least on the baseball field. And in interviews too. He's cocky and
Yeah.
you got to have some overconfidence to play professional level sports. You've got to really think of yourself. But he goes above and beyond. And, you know,
Yeah.
you want to tell him, yeah, when you go to the John, you go just like everybody else. So, There's a story or a quick joke about Martin Short says about Steve Martin. I think, oh, no, he says it about Tom Hanks in a thing. And he says, Tom is just like the rest of us. Someone puts his pants on him one leg at a time. He doesn't do it himself.
Mm,
Machado reminds me of that attitude. I mean, it's just a one. Listen, dude, when you hit the head, you're hitting the head like the rest of us. You're no
yeah,
better than the rest of us humans.
that's right.
And if
We
you
also
are, then we got to exterminate your ass somehow because
that's
you
right.
infiltrated us.
We all go to the public John, so that's
That's
what.
right. When we go to the public John, we all go the same way. We go to the outhouse. We all go to the outhouse for the same reason. So, and without choice, use the same methods. so, so I just don't like the guy. You're right, but San Diego could sneak in there. But I mean, they may win the division, but I don't know. I just think Milwaukee's too tough.
Yeah, I think so
If they
too.
keep playing like they are, I think they're going to be at least in the series. Anything can happen in the series. Um, let's briefly talk about NFL football. First, a couple of the stories. The longest courtship ever between Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers. Uh, I've been married less amount of time than that took place, I think, which is my own personal problem. But my God, that was forever. And it was something you knew eventually was going to happen. So
Hmm.
uh, Pittsburgh hasn't really had a good quarterback since Roethlisberger,
Big Ben.
Big Ben. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works. He hasn't played at all in the preseason. So
I think he'd be a dud. He should have retired 2 years
uh,
ago.
yeah, he's probably going to retire or do what Favre did and keep finding teams for a while that'll take him that are desperate. Um, but once it gets to the point where he wouldn't be a starter, like you said, he'll
Yeah,
retire.
I
So
can
that
see.
might be after this season if it's a damn
Yeah, I mean,
dud season.
I could see him and Metcalf going at it. That's gonna be great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see that too because Metcalf wants the ball, and he used to tell you could see it. He used to tell Russell Wilson, he
Yeah.
told whoever was quarterback, I want the ball. Here's a perfect segue. Russell Wilson in New York. How about that? We set that up nicely, Bill, even though it was accidental. Uh, Russell Segway. That's his new name. Russell Wilson in New York has been named the starter. But boy, I tell you, 2 or 3 games in, if the Giants are 0 and 3, and they have a tough schedule,
Yeah.
if they're 0 and 3 and suck on offense, don't be surprised if Jackson Dart, the first round draft pick, gets in there and becomes the permanent starter for the New York Giants.
Yeah, no doubt. I believe that too.
And I think that's the plan anyway. I think Wilson's what they call a bridge quarterback. He's filling in until they think Dart is ready to go. And I've seen Dart a couple of drives in the preseason, and he's on the money. I mean, like Wilson, he can throw the deep ball. The difference between them is he can also throw that intermediate 10 or 15 yard pass on the money. Wilson's never been real good at that. Um,
And the scouts must have really known something about him because everybody was up in arms when they took him late.
yeah, but
And then
now the Giant fans can't wait.
yeah,
Now, see, nobody's saying anything about the Giants situation, even though they're in the same boat as Cleveland. You have 4 quarterbacks in New York. You've got Wilson, you've got Dart, you've got Jameis Winston, and you've got Tommy DeVito.
yeah,
The hand. Somebody made a good point. They've got 2 quarterbacks with great hand gestures. Dart, who did the W into Jameis's mouth almost, and then DeVito with this.
yeah,
So, but DeVito did well, but I think DeVito is going to be the odd man out there. Yeah, I can't see how you cut Jameis after signing him to something.
yeah.
Dart's the future. Wilson's the bridge. So if anything, DeVito's the car crash.
Sorry.
I, I mean, you're glad the kid had his 15 minutes of fame, but the clock just ran out.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be gone. He was never gonna be the starter anyway, unless it was injuries again.
yeah. the lasagna's all gone, you
That's
know.
it. So, pasta fagioli. I got good news and I got bad news. Uh, leave the football, grab the cannoli. You know, it's done. It's over. Uh, Speaking of going into the Cleveland situation, there's a transition and a segue into the four quarterback deal. You got Joe Flacco, who has less movement than the Statue of Liberty. Uh, really, he drops. He is probably the last of his breed, which is a drop back
That
quarterback.
quarterback.
You know, you got a couple guys who are mostly that, like Stafford and a couple other guys, uh, but
But
Stafford can move around to protect his ass a little bit.
but he's
Flacco,
another 40-year-old
yeah,
or close to it.
close
And
to it.
and the thing is, out of all these players that come out of college and that's been in the pros for several years, why aren't anybody better than 40-year-olds? I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
how could you not put Daniels or Daniel or Gabriel? I'm sorry, Gabriel or even Sanders, who I think's overhyped, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
uh, in as a starter. I can't. I think starting out, Pickett had a shot. It looked like when they traded for Pickett, they were going to see if he could do it. Flacco two, and then one of the draft picks three, and then the other one, and that's the way it was looking. And but then Pickett hurt his hamstring, apparently pretty bad because he hasn't done much at all.
Mhm.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they keep three. Two will always be active. The third one would be that inactive emergency guy, and that they put Pickett on an IL or DL or something to start the season at least. Uh, I think Flacco's an injury waiting to happen, and when the injury happens, he'll probably have to retire.
But I'll tell you what, though, over the last 2 years, he put some he
He put some
films
numbers
up.
together, and let's
He
face
puts
it,
them
the
together.
second half of the season, I think it was 2 years ago, he got Cleveland into the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know,
Why?
playoffs,
Yeah.
playoffs. You're
Yeah.
asking me about
No.
playoffs? But Cleveland was in the playoffs. Two words I never heard, I thought I'd hear in the same sentence. So you're right. And he was the main guy, he was the catalyst. So, I'm sure Stefanski's seen something in him still. And, and I think they're probably going to try and lean on the running game a bit. We don't
Yeah,
know if
sure.
that's going to be any good, but we'll have to see what happens there. Which then makes Flacco only have to throw 20 to 25 instead of everybody else's 40 to 50 every game. Uh,
But on the other thing here, John, as we always discuss, it's always the system too. Tom Brady might
yeah,
not have been Tom Brady if he was on another team. It's
that's
just
true. I mean, look how many years he had with with Daniel. What was it? What's his name?
Josh Dan.
Josh McDaniels. I'm telling you, this thing that happened to me has definitely affected the memory. Um, and then uh, and then even before that, you had Charlie Weiss. I mean, so he was always in a very similar system. You're right. Uh, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Cleveland with the four quarterback situation.
Mhm.
So, but as we go to a quarterback situation, then you have the Rams. You brought up the Rams and Stafford, and he supposedly has a disc problem in his back. So he hasn't played at all in the preseason. And they're saying this disc injury uh, is one of those that he could hurt it by, the quote today was I saw was bending over to pick up the laundry. If I mean he could just move the wrong way and that thing could go out. And now he's going to be playing NFL football. And he's not a moving guy anyway. He moves a little more than Flacco, but then again, I move a little more than Flacco. All right. And I'm years old and with a cane now. Okay. So um, it's one of those things that he can move around a little bit, but he could get hurt just moving around a little bit.
Mhm.
Or if he takes a couple of hits, you're going to see Jimmy G at quarterback for the Rams. No, they're confident in Jimmy G, and he's won some
Yeah,
games in
but
the NFL.
he's another one that only plays one game and he gets hurt.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if Stafford gets hurt, you won't have Jimmy G for long either because he's gonna get crushed. So you might be trading for Shador Sanders or Kenny Pickett by the time
Yeah, right.
you know. Um, their best quarterback that hasn't been hurt was Baker Mayfield, and he played one game for the Rams. But he
Yeah.
won it for him before he went to Tampa Bay on a Thursday night, 2 days before the game he had to play. Didn't
Hmm.
know the offense and showed that he actually is a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I was like, you couldn't help but start rooting for the guy because he was an
Hmm.
underdog. All
Yeah.
the odds are against him, and they won the game. So Stafford to me is a great quarterback. Um, but I think the clock's running on him because a back injury is nothing to play with. And
Yeah.
he gets hit the wrong way or even moves the wrong way. It might not even be a sack. It could be a regular play he gets hit on. And um, you're just thinking, it's a matter of time. I hope not. I like the guy. I really do like the way he plays. Uh, Class act. I hope nothing happened. But you really do hope he's not playing through something that could permanently injure him after football.
Hmm.
And a back is always something that you just don't. We've been sitting here, and while we've been sitting here, I haven't been watching my big screen TV, but somehow the Phillies are up 5-0 in the fifth.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's just-
Yeah, and they have, yeah. But Washington has men at, oh, that's an error. That's not, that's why it's for a double error. I think Wilson's
yeah.
playing first instead of Harper. He bobbled the ball, went to throw to second, and it hit the runner. So it might be second and third here. It is, yeah.
Yeah, you had Real Muto doubled in, Harper, Bohm doubled, and Real Muto scored, and then Sosa hit a 3-run homer.
I like Sosa, man. He loves to play. You can see how happy he is just to play.
Mhm.
And he delivers, man, in the clutch, especially. I like the guy. I really think he's fun to watch. That to me is if a guy doesn't have a negative attitude and he's fun to watch, that makes it for me, no matter what the sport. Well, except uh bocce. You know, I
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything exciting in bocce ever, but
And then you get my team. They gave up 3 homers in the first inning.
oh jeez.
This is ridiculous.
Oh,
But
they
but
got it.
get
They got to blow it up. Man, maybe that's
yeah,
what they're doing is blowing it up
yeah,
and start over.
but back to
Let's get back to the NFL
the quarterbacks. Daniel Jones is with the
with the
Colts,
Colts. I was going to bring that
and
one up.
he beat Richardson out, which was great because Richardson can throw over 50% of his complete 50% of his passes. Now
I agree.
to me, it wouldn't even been close. I wouldn't even ever even had Richardson in the
No,
conversation because
and
if
he
you
gets
can't throw
hurt too.
50%, you can't.
Even if he was good, he gets
Yeah,
hurt too.
yeah.
So
But you got to throw 50%. You got to throw 60%. I mean,
you know
come on.
what? I wasn't negative on the guy till he took himself out of a game for a play because he was tired.
Sure.
I mean, you take yourself out of a game. What kind of message does that send to the rest of your offense and the rest of your team? You're supposed to be the leader of the team, and you go out there. I'm a little tired. I got to come out. This ain't the NBA, right? If you can't play the position, you got to become a stockbroker or some shit. You got to leave. You got to go.
But see, that's where it's like he got picked just because of athleticism.
Right.
You just you can't waste a number one pick on something
On a
like.
project. He was a project.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you. He's one of them guys that years ago they probably would have said you'd be a better wide receiver or you'd be a better running back than you would be at quarterback. And we think you'll have a better career.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he has speed. And if he could catch a ball, you know, learn to run a route, and he could have been decent at wide receiver.
Yeah.
But he's not a quarterback. Every time I watch him,
Yeah.
he panics, his footwork's bad.
Oh yeah.
We've seen enough football to
He's
know
got happy feet for
he's
sure.
yeah, his feet are happy, but the rest of them are going no, 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 no. But he's running and getting nailed, and make turnovers and passes that should be on the money that are short. He just
Yeah.
overthrows like crazy. He's no, I'll go back to the old Chevy Chase line in Caddyshack. He's not good. So um,
So hopefully Daniel Jones does well because he got some bad rap in New York
he got a
too.
bad
So,
rap and didn't get a great chance in New York because he always played with subpar teams with no offensive line, and he was taking a whooping.
mhm,
So like you said, we'll see what happens. I hope Jones does well, but I think it's the right call. I think it's still better than Richardson.
mhm,
So even if he's mediocre, that's an improvement. And then you draft somebody. And I think that's what they're probably looking to do. That's a good move for them. Uh, Overall, I think if you look at the East, and we're just spitballing, we'll go into detail next week. I think
mhm.
if you look at the NFL East, it's probably going to be Philly, Washington, real close. Maybe a game, two at the most separate them. I think it'll be Philly, then Washington. I think if they don't sign Terry McLaurin, that's going to hurt them. And he's in a different setup. He hasn't shown up for almost anything for
No, and you
Washington.
think you would, with your franchise quarterback, you would think you would do what he wants to go
You
because
would
he
you would
wants
sign him.
Daniels wants him. So I mean,
Yep. So yeah, I think that will hurt the Redskins or Redskins. There I go. That'll hurt the Commanders. If they were going to change from the Redskins, they should have just stuck with the Washington football team. I kind of like that the way it was going, but Commanders, please, somebody, no, just no. Um, so I think that would hurt them. Their defense is pretty good. I mean, they're starting to get better and better and better. Um, they traded Brian Robinson to the 49ers, who was their backup running back, but was pretty good, but he didn't want to back up the kid that's there now, and that's what was going to happen. So instead, he's going to be a backup in San Francisco behind McCaffrey, who, if he's not
yeah.
hurt,
So yeah, McCaffrey always gets banged up, so maybe
he
it
does get hurt though. Yep,
might not be a bad move there. So
yep. And they're saying that he'll end up, yeah, Schottenheimer is pretty good at finding different ways to play. So there'll be probably some plays when McCaffrey and Robinson will be in there at the same time. But
yeah, and I think that the goal line guy might be Robinson now too.
right,
So
right. I think you're right about that. Unless it's going to be a play action pass,
mm,
then you have McCaffrey in there for that. But other than that, no, I think you're right. Um, and then I'm going with the Giants over the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have too many distractions. They spend all their money on star players and don't pay advantage to the other guys. You need better offensive line. I think the clock's running on what game will Prescott get hurt again? Because he gets hurt constantly.
hopefully not. I just got him in the draft today, so he better not.
Oh, good luck, my friend. If he plays, he's going to give you numbers. If he's
Yeah,
not hurt, he'll do all right. But I just
and they
think,
picked up the kid from Pittsburgh, so I mean Pickens. So
oh
he's
yeah,
got weapons, and the tight end Ferguson. So he's got
yeah,
weapons.
they've got some weapons if the O line can keep a front four out of Prescott's face. But the defense is tough. I mean, Parsons makes the secondary and the linebackers look okay. Not great, but okay. Without him, they won't have much of a pass rush, and those guys will be exposed all day long. The longer a quarterback has to sit in the pocket, the more he's going to pick you apart. So, uh,
So yeah, so here we go.
yeah, here we
Open
go.
alert.
Yep. First and 25 now, or second and 25, holding, whatever it takes. Then I think if you look at the NFC Central, it's probably Detroit. Uh, Everybody's banking on JJ McCarthy being great, and maybe he will be, but we haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen them
I
yet.
think it's unproven. Uh, I was surprised they let Donaldson go so quickly,
Mhm.
but they did. So
And they could take a step back too, Detroit, because they don't have Ben Johnson now as their offensive
yeah,
coordinator. Um,
and they got a couple injuries already.
yeah, and they got injuries. The Bears should improve, I think, pretty good.
Yeah, the Bears are going to get better, and the Packers, I think,
And the
are
Packers, is that
are
so?
a lot better than people think.
That could be a really good division this year.
It could be. It could be like the old black and blue division those teams were in before. That was always great.
Yeah, and then the NFC South, Tampa Bay stands above the other
Yeah.
three.
I mean, they barely finished 500 and win. So I think the Falcons still have problems at quarterback. New Orleans definitely has problems at
And
quarterback.
the Panthers have a problem at quarterback.
And the Panthers have problems, period.
So
Quarterback's one of them, but they've got other issues too. So their defense is supposedly very much improved, but they can't score a point.
mhm.
They couldn't score in a bar full of hookers with cash in their pockets. They couldn't score. Okay. So that's when you know a team can't score. They're showing, did Turner just hit a home run? Let's see. Turned the hands rather nicely. Looks up in the sky. I'm still looking. It looks deep, way back. It is gone. So it's 6-1 now. And Schwarber's up. So uh so Washington did score a run last inning, but Turner just hit a bomb. So they got it back already. So much for a shutdown inning. So um in the West, you've got the Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks, and there's a fourth team in there oh, the Cardinals. Everyone's like, oh, the Cardinals are improved. No, no, they're not. No. Uh, the Niners have some, I mean, everybody had picked the Niners before the
Yeah,
season last year, but injuries got them. So it could be a three-team race between Seattle, the Rams, and the Niners. Uh,
yeah. I don't, I don't think that division's going to be very good.
no. And I think if Stafford stays healthy, I think the Rams are the team to beat in that division.
Yes.
But if he's not healthy, then I think you got to look at Seattle. I mean,
Apple
I,
TV.
then the AFC, you got what do we got in the East? I think Buffalo is still the
Yeah,
team to
Buffalo's
beat.
still cream of the crop.
Everybody else is just there to participate, give them their participation medal and go home. Uh,
Hmm.
the Central,
They're the North. The North, you
the
got
North and South. That's right. The North,
North. Yeah, the Ravens and Bengals,
Ravens, Bengals, Steelers,
Browns. Yeah, I mean,
and Browns. I think you're going to see the Raven. I think the Steelers, if Rodgers is any good at all, they might get in the playoffs. But I'm pretty sure the Ravens are going to win that division again. Uh, Cleveland's going to be bringing up the rear, even if they improve. The Bengals still have no defense. They could be the number one, and I think they were last year or close to it, the number one scoring team in the NFL, and didn't make the playoffs because they can't stop anything. They can't stop a train that has run out. They can't stop a car that's run out of gas going over the railroad tracks. They can't stop anything. They can't catch up and stop a turtle. They're done. Uh, I just don't see it until they figure out a way to improve on defense. But they keep
yeah,
paying
and,
receivers
and
and
and their best defenders holding out.
yeah, yeah, it's true. Hendrickson, right?
Yep.
He's not going to play unless they sign him, and it hasn't looked good yet. So see what happens. But yeah, I don't. I mean, don't be surprised if they don't get a defense. If Cleveland is improved, if Cleveland doesn't finish third. I mean,
Yeah.
the Bengals, especially if Burrow gets hurt,
Oh yeah,
they
definitely.
have a terrible offensive line. How he held up last year, I have no idea. Um,
Mhm.
so that's going to be a little interesting. Then you got the South,
The South not
which
that
is
good
what?
either. And,
Houston, Jacksonville,
yeah,
Tennessee, and I don't even know who
and
else.
Jacksonville and Indy.
Oh, and Indy. That's right. If Daniel Jones plays decent, the Colts could sneak into the playoffs, but I don't see them winning the division. I think it's still Houston. Tennessee's in a rebuilding mode. Um, and of course,
Jacksonville, who knows what Jacksonville? They
Jacksonville's
got good
always
weapons. They got good
mediocre.
weapons. But
They'll win a couple games they shouldn't, but then they'll lose a couple games they shouldn't. So they love Trevor Lawrence still. I've never seen him really do anything fantastic. So Tennessee doesn't even have a good backup quarterback now because Levis is out for the season already. So,
Yeah. Thanks for
so
stopping by.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for stopping by. There's a seat on the bench for you. We've opened it up. Thanks for taking that up for us. So it's a shame you're not even healthy enough to hold a clipboard. If your health is so bad you can't hold a clipboard on the
For
sideline and wear headphones, you need to go. Okay. Then out west, I'll tell you, the West may be tougher than some people think, but I think Denver's improving.
I think Denver. I like
I
Denver.
think the Chargers are improving. Of course, the Chiefs are still the Chiefs, and I'm a
Yeah.
Chiefs fan, but I I I think it could be Denver, and it could be the Chargers and the Chiefs playing for two.
Mhm.
And the
The
Raiders
Raiders. The Raiders are improving
the
because
Raiders are going to
there's only one way
improve,
to
but they're
match
not
up.
going to crack those. Yeah, but they're going to improve this much, and it needs to be in that division this much. Yeah. Um, but I think Pete Carroll will put them on the right track. I think it'll take a year or two. And that's what it's done with the Chargers. And Harbaugh's famous for year two, really, in whatever program he's in, making it playoff ready. Uh,
Mhm.
they're going to run a lot first, which is a Harbaugh thing anyway. That's going to take some pressure off Herbert, who is a really good quarterback, and people don't give him quite enough.
Mhm.
Right, close, but he's a really good quarterback, and he's tough. Um, I think Mahomes is still the cream of the crop, but you could see in the Super Bowl if he doesn't have protection, he's just like everybody else. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
get hit and be running for your life. Uh, that was
But
one of the
he'll
two
have his
worst
top
games he ever
weapon.
played.
Yeah. He'll have his top weapon Rice for till
Yeah, he won't have Rice for a while,
but he'll have him like the
but he
first three
has
or four.
Worthy,
He's got Worthy. Yeah.
and they signed somebody I can't remember who. Uh, they still signed Kelsey. They think he may play better than he did last year, so we'll see.
Yeah.
They've got
Ever since he got with Taylor Swift,
it
he
hasn't been
hasn't
the
done well.
same, yeah, but
So
we'll
what's
see
that
what
tell
happens. You know, ever since he got a
you?
steady,
Does he
he
get
ain't
too
been
much
ready.
poontang?
Yeah, he ain't been ready since he got so steady. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, he scored.
he scored all right. I give the guy credit. I mean, he scored big time. You know, but not on the football field. So we'll see what happens there. That's really it to me. I don't see a whole lot of outside of that AFC West. I'm not sure I see a lot of changes, but the AFC West could be up for grabs, and I guess the NFC Central North could be up, could be tough. Um, but I don't know. Any, I'm looking at Buffalo, thinking, did they make any changes? Because they are right. I mean, they're always right there, Bill. It
Yeah,
just can't. Last year it was Baltimore that beat them.
yeah.
Other years it's been Kansas City that's knocked them out.
The thing is, they don't have that number one receiver. I mean, they
Yeah,
picked.
that's
Uh,
it.
that's the biggest thing. It's just
Yeah,
you
I think
don't
this
have
year
that
they're
one
looking at a draft
receiver.
pick they made. Yeah, and it's just never ever since what Diggs,
Yeah.
they really haven't had a number one.
Mhm.
And but I'm wondering if they can just get over that hump. I think they get to the Super Bowl, they win. I really do. They're
Yeah.
a tough
And
team.
for Josh Allen's sake too, I hope they do because I tell you what,
Yeah, someday I hope he gets it for him because I mean, let's face it, Buffalo four in a row and they lose them all. I mean, and that was a great team.
Mhm.
Um, so you're right. I hope someday that they get it. Uh, if the Chiefs aren't going to get it, if
Mhm.
the Eagles aren't going to get it, then I'd probably root for Buffalo. But that's really about it. The only NBA thing to me that's happened was Durant getting traded. What a shocker. Uh, I cry a little bit. I'm going to go somewhere else, and that's what's happening there. Oklahoma City, of course, your NBA champions. And I think a good overall team, a great overall team.
for sure.
Uh, wouldn't surprise me if they figure out a way to repeat. They'll definitely be in the mix. You look at some disappointing teams. You look at Philadelphia. I, I liked Embiid, but I think because he probably makes so much money and the focus is on him, uh, if he either doesn't perform or gets hurt again, you gotta jettison him. You gotta move on.
Yeah, you got to definitely move on. And I think even waiting this year, I think they should have just
Oh,
cut ties with him now.
well, Ron Washington.
I wouldn't even give him another chance this year. I just try to trade him.
Yeah, trade him or cut him loose, buy him out if you can. He's on a long term, one of those long term, really guaranteed high
Mhm,
salaries. So chances of you getting him cheap, it'd be one of those deals where if you trade him, you'd still have to pay part of his salary to the other team.
mhm.
But that might be worth looking at. A solo home run for the Nationals off the foul pole. Trying to see who it was that hit it. Might have been Abrams, but it's 6-2 now. It was Abrams. So CJ Abrams hits a solo shot for the Nationals. Philly still leads 6-2. There's your update in the sixth. Nola's going into the sixth and is pitching
Yeah.
pretty well. So that's good news for Philly. They need him to get healthy and get back to some semblance of Aaron Nola. So he's doing pretty well today. Two solo homers, I think. I don't know of anything else, Bill, sports wise, unless you do. The
No,
soccer season's
yeah,
going, right?
I'm just watching my team now. They just started, so they're doing well.
The
They're
Union, yeah,
in first place. Yeah.
yeah. Well, uh, they're pretty consistent as far as being able to play decently, but you just like to see them win that thing one time.
Their problem, actually, it's probably not their problem because it's like Miami, LA, they get all these guys from the Premier League.
Right.
They want to go to the big cities, but that's the problem. They won't come to Philly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, they're doing very well for what they have. So, I mean,
Yeah. And they're fun to watch. I've watched
yeah, they got a
half
new coach,
here,
and
some
the new
players
coach
there.
this year is really doing really well. So,
Now, are they on Apple again this year?
yeah, they're on
Yeah.
Apple. Yeah,
That blows in.
I know.
Oh, well. All
But
right. Unless you have something, Bill.
no, that's it, my friend.
All right. We've had a pretty good show today. We've kept it right near the time frame. Uh, we ask you guys to at least mentally give it up again for our sponsors who make all this possible. That's Vineland Realty Corporation, 634 East Landis Avenue in Vineland, New Jersey, for all of your residential and business property needs. Their number's 856-690-9482. Go see Dennis and the crew and tell them the cheap seats say thank you. And Schatzi's Schnitzel House out here in Northeast Kansas, in Riley, Kansas, private German events and catering. They do open up the catering hall once a month so people can actually sample the food and stuff. I mean, it's a full buffet dinner, but you pay for it. I mean, he ain't giving stuff away. I mean, you can't stay in business if you give stuff away. But that's Schatzi's Schnitzel House, Haus, the German word for house, of course. Uh, and it's on Broadway in Riley, Kansas. Their phone number 785-473-3355. And let them know that the Public John sent you if you go in there and uh, go see Chef Manfred because he's not just a chef, he's a cool guy. He is really a cool guy. You'd like Chef Manfred. Uh, he's a funny guy. Uh, Definitely German. But he's a German with a sense of humor, which I didn't think those two things went together. But he'll tell a joke, he gets a joke, and he's a good guy. So that's Schatzi Schnitzel House, Riley, Kansas. Their phone number 785-473-3355, and tell them the Public John sent you. Uh,
Yeah, if I ever get a chance to get out there, maybe we could do
yeah, we could take a run out there and
do a
go see your
podcast from
stuff.
there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I may be doing one with him pretty soon, but we could probably do one there and have the chef on. So
There you go.
he oh, he's funny as heck. He's a good guy. He really is. So Chef Manfred LaGrange Ulrich. Thank you, sir. Dennis, thank you. We appreciate it. For my pal Billy Smith and Ethel, the executive producer, uh, who's over here doing what executive producers with four legs and eat Alpo do, which is nothing. I'm used to that. So, um, for Billy, for his producer in the background, who I can hear, uh, the terrific Janine.
You cracked her up all day.
Yeah.
Here's my executive
Your
producer.
EP coming in? Oh, wait, what is that? Oh my God.
Tinkerbell.
Okay. Just like a fairy tale, she's here and now she's gone.
Gone.
Adios, Tinkerbell. Like the real Tinkerbell. She gone. I was just waiting for her to go, oh, meow, baby. Uh, so for Billy, his executive producers and staff, my EP Ethel, for Dennis, for Chef Manfred, we're going to say thank you guys. We'll be back next week with a detailed NFL preview, even though we just gave you the basic outline. Any other big sports news that comes up, and our NFL picks for this coming season. And we hope you guys tune in. And I know you've missed us, but as they said in the Poltergeist, we're back. See you next week, folks.
See you, Johnny.
See you, Billy.